straight to the moon, get your ticket now. Everybody line up, get your tickets, we're going. Did you buy the tip? Yeah. Do you like rocket ships? Oh, what a human. You wanna try this shit? Yeah. We got everything you need, you better buy some bitty now. Everybody, long live Ponzi. Everybody, love the Ponzi ride. Never short it. Bitcoin's back, alright.
Alrighty everybody, welcome to SirToshi's Bitcoin chart show. This is the Bitcoin forecast, the strength of the system, the health of the network, where we find out what's up with what is going down and all around. Today's date is Friday, the 11th of June 2021. Let's just crack into it. So, first page we need to look at is this one. This is an article from the block, although it's actually a press release, but look at the title there. BSV surpasses BTC in blockchain, or BTC blockchain in data size. Now, obviously, shitcoiners wouldn't really have a clue what that means, but we here in the genuine Bitcoin certainly know. It means there is more data weight, more data value on chain. It is more valuable to more people because more people are using it. Even if you've only got a few organizations that have got all their data on it, it is more valuable to them in order to sustain it because that's where they're keeping the records of all their transactions. That's what this is all about. It is more valuable each time. Loving that. So let's crack on to the next one. So we're going to start off with this. So Bitcoin has got three types of value. It's got fundamental value, technical value, and then economic value. Its fundamental value comes from its neutral growth and size, which is why Satoshi Nakamoto had to, well, it's a commodity, which is why he had to step away from the project and let it grow for a decade. You've got a decade worth of neutral growth. That's where Bitcoin gets its fundamental value from. Then the network has its technical value, which comes from speed, cost, and scale of using the network. Then it has its economic value, which is the utility and application it provides, which is effectively data management, data security, data efficiencies. It is by far the most amazing network that has ever been created. So from there, let's just have a listen to what the creator says about it. Here we go.
Bitcoin, with a stable protocol, takes away power.
There we go. A stable protocol takes away power from money.
If no one can change the protocol, not me, not God, there's no power in money.
There we go. Loving that.
Money is all about power. And this is one of the things Bitcoin has done. It has removed that power. It will remove that power globally.
We will now have monetary sovereignty backed by the value of data sovereignty and data privacy, because we will now no longer be effectively held to ransom by these corporations who entice us like a honey trap to upload our family photos and precious wedding videos to their servers that they can just simply delete on a whim if they don't like what you're saying politically or anything like that. That is where Bitcoin gets its economic and fundamental value from. So for anybody curious about the potential the network has, well, let's have a listen to the creator dropping a few hints here.
At InChain, we've just funded a number of universities doing so far a test up to 1 gigabyte because it validates what we've already done independently. We've tested up to 380 gigabyte blocks. We've tested 1 million transactions a second and transaction sizes up to 20 megabytes. Super complex scripts, basically ones that can run operating systems. That's all of global commerce times about 50. On top of that, we can have complex scripts. On top of that, we can scale each of those transactions 1,000 times, which effectively means about 1 billion transactions per second, which means we can then have all derivatives, all complex trades. That means high frequency trading. It means everything that happens globally.
There we go. That means all derivatives, high frequency trading, everything that happens globally. Pay attention and let's have a listen to the motivation for designing such a beautiful system, like a work of art.
At the end of the day, we own a lot of Bitcoin. The simple thing is, if we make the network scale, we make it bigger, my main compensation, more than anything anyone could ever pay me, is the price of Bitcoin goes up. So that's my pure drive. I want Bitcoin not to go up to 10,000 or 100,000. I want it to be worth millions per Bitcoin. That's it. And that's what we spend money for. Very simple.
Can you imagine the shitcoiners' reaction when they hear him say something like that? Honestly, because that's all they want. They just simply dollar value all the time. It's quite rare to hear Satoshi Nakamoto himself actually talking about Bitcoin in dollar value, because obviously dollars are fundamentally worthless. So talking about or referring Bitcoin or measuring it in dollars, personally I find it rather cheap, you know. But, you know, that's kind of what the world uses at the moment anyway. So let's move on. Check it out. So for anybody who's a little bit confused about what has happened, this a picture paints 1,000 words. This pretty much says it all. BTC has completely changed. And we'll have a listen to Peter McCormack describing exactly that. So take the floor, Pete. For anybody who's a little bit confused about what they think might have happened or what they're looking at here, here we go.
Bitcoin is so different now from when Satoshi was here. It's a completely different project. It doesn't matter who Satoshi is anymore. Even if Satoshi came back, I don't think he would just be immediately welcomed as having this God-given right to decide what happens with Bitcoin. I think he would have to earn his right back into the project. Bitcoin is built based on consensus now.
Are you sure about that, Pete? Because it didn't sound like it to me. So as you can see, Bitcoin has completely changed because it was centrally controlled by Blockstream, who implemented SegWit on the 24th of August 2017, turning BTC into an absolute, fundamentally piece of garbage. Utter crap. I'm trying to avoid the word saying shitcoin, but there I've said it. And for all those other shitcoiners who don't understand the, clearly are utterly ignorant and don't understand the implications of SegWit, like Tony Vase, have a listen to this.
Why do you think BTC is valuable?
It's valuable because it's the only unconfiscatable asset we have, and that is because that comes from its decentralization. I think Bitcoin is the only valuable crypto asset we have because of the nature of how it started in its first few years.
And when you say Bitcoin, you mean BTC, right?
Absolutely.
But are you aware that in 2017, they changed the rules so that BTC no longer follows the Bitcoin white paper?
That is not true at all.
The white paper says that there needs to be a chain of signatures.
Sure.
Okay, so that's not what we have anymore. That's how SegWit changed that.
Okay, but it's still Bitcoin.
So they're the kind of shitcoiners with shit for brains that we're dealing with. Dear oh dear. So then the changes simply had to carry on under a new ticker symbol, but the protocol didn't change. But then another group of developers, led by Roger Ver, wanted to change it so that it wasn't regulatory compliant, which means global trade and international commerce could never use it, which would obviously substantially reduce its market cap. How ridiculous is that? So let's just have a listen to Roger Ver explaining what people should do if they want a monetary system that is regulatory compliant, that provides for legal recourse should something go wrong in a trade.
The ones that say that the blockchains all need to be legally compliant about everything all the time, just go use your Visa card.
Fine, I will, you utter moron. And so let's have a quick look at these figures and check it out. Right, we've got Coolcoin BTC over there. So Samson, what can you tell us about Coolcoin BTC?
Yeah, Blockstream controls it.
Oh, and what have you got to say about that, Max?
All right.
And then we've got Bcrash, registered by CoinDance, saying 607. And the reason I call it Bcrash is because Roger Ver calls it Bcrash himself. Have a listen.
And we're going to really spread Bitcoin Crash across the entire country here in Antigua.
Yeah, good luck with that, Roger. You utter buffoon. So let's have a look at Bitcoin here. We've got Preve saying a 167 in the top left of the screen frame. CoinDart saying 171. Hash rate 0.6%. Network nodes 1.7. Transactions 46.4. Still smashing these shitcoins here. And block size. Look at that, 70% of the block size. Absolutely beautiful. So Michael Saylor, who's been reading the white paper, we're just going to let him sort of like tell us what we should be looking for. So Michael, you know, when we're sort of like looking at Bitcoin, tell us what is it that we want?
Big blocks.
That's right. How big?
$100 million chunks.
All right. Whereabouts?
On the blockchain.
That's right, mate. Let's have a look then. So we'll just scan down Bcrash. Yeah, I mean, look at that. They're having trouble even getting a megabyte block. And Coolcoin's back to 1 megabyte, and that's it. Pfft. But look at Bitcoin. Look, 18 megabytes, 11, 10, 18. 3, 18, 20, 22, 11, 18. 2, 4, 1, 13, 22, 11, 21. Love it. Love it. That is where the data is flowing through the chain. Oh, look at that. Tal and Hathor all the way. Look at that. Squeezing those shitcoin enterprises off the chain. Loving that. So this is the hash rate. So again, hash rate follows price, follows value, follows utility, follows creativity, initiative, and intelligence. If you are intelligent and you apply creativity and initiative, you can make something useful. When something is useful, it can then create value. When it creates value, it can then develop a price. When it develops a price, it can then be measured against the cost of other goods and services and used as a medium of exchange. Shout out to people in the house. We've got Aaron in the house. We've got Keith Fellows, KP Dad, Arcade Rob, and Say Coco Monzo 9. Nice one. Thank you for joining me. Here we go. Proof of work by network. Again, who cares? Coolcoin, Bcrash will fall into their own footprint. Bcrash, Bitcoin hash rate. Who cares? Bcrash, Bitcoin, proof of work. Who cares? Look, it is 26,000 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin than Coolcoin, which is 10 times cheaper than Bcrash. Dear oh dear. And it is 4.6% more profitable to mine on Coolcoin because there is so much competition for Bitcoin right now. And it's currently 0.3% more profitable to mine on Bcrash, but who cares? Daily average Bitcoin block size by network. Bitcoin absolutely smashing it. Transactions by network. Bitcoin winning. Transactions per block by network. Bitcoin winning. Fees USD. That's fees in the block, so transaction fees that come with volume of transactions. Fees Satoshis, again, volume of transactions. The ratio, again, we're expecting huge increases in price and volume of transactions, so we'll monitor that. Check this out. Daily accumulated Bitcoin growth by network. Mind the gap. Check it out. Where are we? So we've now got Bitcoin with 374 gigabytes versus Coolcoin with 356. Bitcoin absolutely smashing it. Let's just double check. Yes, indeed. Look at that. Ahead by 19.64 gigabytes. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Great stuff. So let's get into the politics here. So this is a global hash rate, 7 days. Global hash rate, 24 hours. That should match Coolcoin because they've got about 97% of the hash rate. Yeah, we just got F2 pool and pool trading places. Other than that, pretty much identical, really. Via BTC, though, macking it hard these last 24 hours. But they're a shitcoin enterprise. So this is Bcrash. Look at that. Look at that. That's hilarious. Look, what's the profitability? Look, so it's only 0.3% more profitable to mine Bcrash, and yet Ampool have got over 54% of the hash rate on it. That's hilarious. But remember, Ampool and BTC.com are both Bitmain, so that's 54 plus 11. So we're talking 65%, 67%, 66% really, percent of the network on Bcrash is by Bitmain, mining it for no other reason other than sheer idiocracy and the fact that they are ideology. And the fact that they're trying to, what are they called? Diversify their portfolio, but there is no value in this whatsoever. It's an absolute waste of time and energy. It's hilarious, but we know this. But those shitcoin enterprises with shit for brains, they're just simply going to have to learn the hard way. It's going to be quite satisfying watching it when it happens. Dear oh dear. And this is Bitcoin. So look at this. Tau with 50.69%, Hathor 38.8%. Squeezing via BTC and F2 pool. That looks like they've actually squeezed BTC.com completely off the chain. F2 pool hanging in there. Good to see mempool, norpool still chugging away. You know, persistence overcomes resistance. It's going to be worth it in the end, boys. Yes, indeed. But the whole point of this is to squeeze these shitcoin enterprises off the chain so that effectively they're going to be dumping their shitcoins for it because they haven't been able to mine it in order to have enough on their books. And the reason they're trying to mine it is because they're artificially suppressing the price because they don't understand what Bitcoin is. The only thing they know is price manipulation, which is what they're trying to do. Absolutely pathetic. So let's have a look at the price manipulation now in the short positions. Here we go. Come on, I did have this page loaded, Bitfinex. You know I did. Come on, come on. Let's be having it on the minutes here. That's it. Right, so we've got a 90% your short ratio and still 89% shorts. Oh, these dirty shitcoiners losing their bottle a little bit. Thank you, Bitfinex. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin blockchain working live in front of our very eyes. Check it out. 21 transactions per second. Loving that. Oh, down to 10. So for any newbies watching this, the vertical rectangular blocks at the top are the transactions being recognized by the mining nodes on the network. Because the network is an ultra small world network, the moment the transaction is broadcast to the network, it is picked up by 50% of the nodes instantly. And then it is thrown into the memory pool where it is competed for by the miners and payment processors in order to create a block, put the transaction within a block, and then place the block on the blockchain, which is then when they're rewarded with a Coinbase data, otherwise known as the block reward, otherwise known as freshly minted Bitcoin. Look at all these blocks on chain looking very healthy. Loving that. So we'll just choose the biggest one here, which is 27 megabytes. In the highlighted rectangular box below, we see we've got the hash number of that block, the block height, who it was mined by, the size, the time, the date, the transaction count, and the total fees. So the total fees in that block were 20. Whoa, what's going on with the transactions? Oh, I thought there was loads coming through there. $28.39, and it is these fees in the block that will eventually surpass the block reward as the block reward gets cut in half every 210,000 blocks, which we will let Laura Shin explain. So let's just look at the charts quickly. Oh, what was that? How many transactions per second? Oh, I thought there was more. Look at all these coming through all of a sudden. Charts, let's have a look at these quickly. Yeah. All right, no movers and shakers there today. That's all right. Here we go. So this is the block reward. Started off with 50, went down to 25. Then it went to 12.25. 25. 12.5, 6.25, 3.12 is what's coming next. But let's have a listen to Laura Shindig. Shitcoin Shin, as I affectionately call her, talking about the block reward with Dan Hoddle. Here we go.
So, as you mentioned, at a certain point when the block reward stops, there will be a transition where miners will be compensated in transaction fees, not in the block reward. And the current amount that they earn is from fees is about 9% of the block reward. And so we'd have to see transaction fees 11x by roughly 2140, which is when the new Bitcoins will stop being minted. But I just wondered, if we don't see an increase in the amount of transactions that can happen at layer one, because the number of layer one transactions is limited. And right now, I feel like a lot of the scaling is focusing on layer two. Can transaction fees 11x in that time, or will that require people to pay a lot more per transaction?
Over the next couple halving cycles, we should see it start to predominantly be the value that is compensated to the miners in the block reward. If Bitcoin is the world reserve currency that doesn't have a strong security model, like there's not a lot of monetary compensation in the block reward due to transaction fees, well, then its long-term security will be weak. If it is the world reserve currency, there'll be very, very many layer one transaction fees.
Okay, yeah. So it sounds like you think it is possible that the amount in transaction fees will maybe not be enough on layer one to replace the block reward when the time comes.
Absolutely, there won't be enough transaction fees in the block reward to support the miners when the time comes, because it can only do 7 transactions per second, and this idiot knows it. What an absolute fool, an absolute fool. But that's why we call them shitcoiners with shit for brains, because what they're doing makes no sense whatsoever. All right, let's have a look at this. These are all the mining farms. Look, can you imagine a network that does 7 transactions per second trying to finance all of this? This is absolutely insane. We need billions, if not trillions, of transactions on chain in order to support the mining network. Otherwise, it will collapse. That's the whole point of Bitcoin, is to get people using it. It's not, you don't just hodl. I mean, honestly, the lack of intellectual capacity in these shitcoiners does my head in when I think about it. It is so stupid. Unbelievable. But that's why I like genuine Bitcoin, because you're hanging around with like the creme de la creme of the human race in BSV, which is great. Love it. Let's have a look at this Bitcoin BitInfo charts. So XRP, I mean, this is absolutely hilarious. Let's just have a quick laugh at their chief technical officer explaining that XRP is an absolute bag of shit. Here we go.
The XRP is a digital asset. It's censorship resistant. It's publicly traded. It trades on the XRP ledger.
Yada, yada, yada. Bullshit.
Ripple does not own or control the XRP ledger in any way.
Is that right? Have a listen to this.
So how did Ripple then get all the XRP that it has? It has about half the supply. So just how did that particular transaction happen?
Oh, yeah, good question. Good. How did that happen? How did they end up with half the supply if it isn't controlled by them?
So the way its design works is when the ledger first began operation, the 100 billion XRP, all that will ever exist, were sort of up for grabs.
Is that right? Up for grabs.
And lots of people grabbed XRP out of that system, but it just so happens that obviously, just like early miners mined, huge amounts of Bitcoin before the public knew about it or was using it.
Absolute right. Just such a load of crap there. Bitcoin is competitive. That's why it uses proof of work, because it dilutes that central point of authority and control and influence over a period of time and allows other people to come in and compete fairly with it.
Early XRP users grabbed large amounts of that pool of XRP. And so the people who developed the ledger wound up with, the vast majority of it.
Yeah, and so the developers who developed it, they grabbed it and they ended up with the vast majority of it. An absolute piece of crap. And let's have a listen to one of the developers at Ethereum explaining that Ethereum couldn't even scale for sure before they released it.
It scales somewhat.
It scales somewhat. Is that right?
Plans or initial thinking. We knew it wasn't going to be scalable for sure.
Honestly, Bitcoin is the only genuine digital commodity. Look at that, 12% of the overall transactions, and these two shitcoin projects are utterly worthless, totally worthless. So, loving that. So we'll just have a look at transactions, just because I love this chart for any newbies who might be watching my show. 3 years on the log curve. Can you spot Bitcoin? Oh, yes, indeed. Beautiful. Love that. Scaling test network. Okay, so we know that this is actually going to be obsolete soon, but always worth just checking the figures here. So we've still got 608. Well, it's actually 638 is the largest block on the mainnet. 5,124 transactions per second. But now we're going to have a listen to Shadows talking about the upgrade of Terranode. Check it out. Here we go. Take the floor, Shadows.
We have run this across all 10 nodes, and I have actually seen volumes in excess of 100,000 per second. I wasn't quite brave enough to try that one today, live on stage. But there we have a real-life example of a Terranode that is able to scale. If I had more time, I would show you one that's actually running at a steady-state capacity and show that it actually can continue for a long period of time without any problems.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Now listen to this disclaimer.
For reference, we don't think that the Bitcoin SV software would be able to handle a validation rate like that at this point in time.
Whoa, amazing, amazing. So we know what's coming, an upgrade, beautiful. And all these other miners, all these other shitcoin enterprise miners, they are going to be scrambling to update their miners in order to get Bitcoin. This is why we're doing it. Honestly, it's going to be a mad rush when they see this come online. There is no other network that can compete with this in the world, on the planet. It is amazing. So let's have a listen to the roadmap.
By the end of this month, we're hoping to actually have alpha versions of Terranode listening on the mainnet.
And we're in June, so the end of June, we're going to have alpha versions of Terranode listening on the mainnet. Love it.
They won't be trying to produce blocks. They'll just be listening and processing peer-to-peer messages. We'll also build, we have built scale testnets, global scale testnets for the Terranode specifically. We can't do this on the scaling testnet because we'll crush it.
Oh, they can't do it on the scaling testnet that we just looked at because it would crush it. Love it, love it.
Because we have proven that Terranode can scale, we've proven what Satoshi always said about Bitcoin. Bitcoin can and does scale. Thank you very much.
Beautiful, Steve. Beautiful, Steve. I will never get bored of listening to that. Absolutely love it. Mega excited. Mega excited. Trends.cash to see what's going on. Relay X, look at this. Apps ranking by money spent. Jeepers. More than... What is going on there? What is going on there? I'll have to find out what that is. Apps ranking by money spent. I don't even use my Relay X wallet. I'm missing out on something here. Good grief. I mean, TDXP up down to 24% with Relay X with 72. Anybody want to do some investigating for me? Let me know. What is that? I mean, that is massive. That's massive. And apps ranking by performed actions. Look, Run SV on there again. That's Relay X, effectively, the Run protocol. Crypto Fights 34.4. Router SV. So again, that's large corps testing the network. Twitch down in 10th. TDXP down in 8th. Wow. I mean, love looking at these. Things are changing all the time. I'm going to have to do some research on Relay X. Good grief. Something's going on there. Crypto Quant, for any newbies watching the show, just shows you the shitcoin exchanges have been cashing out. This is BTC, all exchanges reserves. They are the liquidity providers for the space, and they have been cashing out. The reason they've been cashing out is because they know it has no fundamental value whatsoever, and you don't go around telling people that you're offloading it before you've offloaded your bags, because you're not going to get the value for money. But because they've been offloading it, because they're offloading it while it still has a price, it means it's caused a liquidity squeeze, which has caused a spike in the price. But this is all to do with Tether printing trying to counteract the selling of the exchange's reserves. So really, this is all Tether. It's all Tether. It's a massive bubble. Yeah. So again, I mean, I just hope people listening are intelligent enough to figure this out as to what I'm saying there. What's on chain? Have a look at this. Confirmed transactions. Look at this. Estimated next block size. 77 megabyte block coming up. Loving that. Loving that. Look at all these transactions. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's the biggest block I've actually seen being generated there. 77.18 megabytes coming at you. Yes, indeed. Memory pool, here we go. So this is what a memory pool is meant to look like. Data comes in, then it gets cleared. Data comes in, then it gets cleared. Data comes in, then it gets cleared. That's what a memory pool is meant to look like. Let's compare that to BTC, which is the biggest shitcoin. What it's not meant to look like is this. Look at that. Look at these volumes of transactions that can't be cleared. A 1 megabyte block. Absolutely pathetic. And we can see this working live in front of our eyes right now. So look at this. Memory pool size of 24 megabytes. That's building up. That they're trying to clear using 1 megabyte blocks approximately every 10 minutes. What a joke. And the median fee is $3.34. So you can add that onto your cup of coffee. But let's have a listen to Adam Back, the Chief Executive Officer at Blockstream, explaining what he thinks is acceptable for a payment network. Here we go.
So, fee estimation in some cases is quite bad. If you're paying a friend, you can probably afford to wait 4 hours and not pay a priority fee.
No thanks, you absolute goon. And we've got Ethereum over here. Look, they've got a a median transfer fee of 94 cents. So let's have a listen to Vitalik giving BTC a ribbing when their transactions were 5 cents.
The internet of money should not cost 5 cents a transaction. It's kind of absurd.
So why is your internet of money got a transaction fee of 97 cents, Vitalik? Oh dear. So this is our own shit show. Look at all his money being printed. So when loads of money gets printed, which is effectively mean the currency is being debased, what do we know? What happens? Have a listen.
Statistical analysis has found that every time an empire begins to near its own demise, you'll find that its currency will be debased.
Oh dear, it's not looking good, is it? But why is it being debased? Well, let's have a listen to Alan Greenspan explaining how America pays its debt, shall we? Because I will never get tired of this. Let me just find this. Where? Oh, come on. Come on, Alan. Where are you? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I know you're around here somewhere. You will be here. Oh, it'll be under A for Alan Greenspan. Come on. Come on. Alan Greenspan, where are you? Where are you? Come on. Come on. Seriously. Seriously. Live show and all that. Got it. Here we go.
Are U.S. Treasury bonds still safe to invest in?
Very much so. This is not an issue of credit rating. The United States can pay any debt it has because we can always print money to do that. So there is zero probability of default.
There we go. Nice, nice situation to be in, isn't it? Oh, you pay your debts. Well, we just print money to do that. And is that printing of money actually do anything? Is it stimulating the economy? No, it's not. And so where might all that money be going? Well, why don't we let Donald Rumsfeld explain that. See what he comes up with his explanations. Here we go. And here's somewhere. Where are you? There we go.
How can we seriously consider a $50 billion increase in the defense budget when DOD's own auditors say the department cannot account for $2.3 trillion in transactions in 1 year alone? Now, my question to you is, Mr. Secretary, what do you plan to do about this?
Decline the nomination.
Oh yeah, I just can't account for $3 billion a day. I mean, like, how incompetent have you got to be to lose $6 billion a day? Honestly, absolutely insane. No wonder he's laughing. So what the Fed don't want you to see is, look, it's just dropping off a cliff. Further figures, dear oh dear. So knowing that Bitcoin is the only thing that can save us, how are we feeling about it today? Coin gets 78. Loving that. Good, good. Check out the morning run. Excellent. Good to see this shit show has only got a trade volume of $6,000. People stay away from this. Move fast and break stuff does not mean breaking the law. They're just building a shit show in my own backyard. I'm livid at this. So hopefully somebody might come to their senses if they ever watch my show. Let's have a look at the depth chart. Oh, look at this. So 7.7 million bids versus 6.3 million asks. More buying pressure at the moment than selling, but we're expecting a huge increase in both of these figures very soon. Loving that, heading in the right direction. Right, Bitfinex, come on, let's bring this up. This is BSV, genuine Bitcoin, versus USD. Oh, yeah, relatively green there, looking good. It's like a USD versus shitcoin BTC. Here we go. Come on, Bitfinex, I did have these loaded up. Oh, that's in the green as well. All right, now let's compare genuine Bitcoin to shitcoin. Let's see what's going on. Oh, yeah, shitcoin just getting ahead of it, but it's not going to stay there for long. Not going to stay there for long. Let's have the shitcoin market. Oh, core coin down 0.9%. Again, not worried about any of these shitcoins. They're an absolute waste of time. Bitcoin. Oh, Bitcoin up 0.2%. Loving that. Loving that. Yeah, we'll take that for a win, just for lulz today. YouTube, 561, 81 new subscribers in the last 28 days. Lovely jubbly. My coffee break news bullet, or my coffee break chart show, not really doing all that well. 94 views. That's all right. That'll do. Better than a poke in the eye with a shitty stick. Let's have a look at douchebags of Bitcoin. For anybody who hasn't seen this, I'd well recommend it. Looking forward to the day when Adam Back gets over 300 views. Here we go. Let's have a look. See where we are. Samson Mao 283. Let's carry on. Adam Back. Where is he? 280, snapping at his heels. Dan Held 266. And look at these other douchebags on Crypto Banter. Where are they? 253. So that's first down to fourth place so far. Alrighty. Streamanity 287. Another follower. Excellent. Oh, look at my revenue on the Greg Maxwell video. $3.20. Loving that. Acorn Stacks. New Twitch users. 30 users. Dear oh dear. Seen it a lot higher than that, but it's alright, you know. A plus figure is better than a minus figure. My followers, all 419. Loving that, heading in the right direction. Everybody will be getting messages from me later on. Ruthie's tweets, 968. There we go, 969. Thank you, Twitter. Let's check out our man Satoshi. How's he doing? 78,600 followers. Pretty good. And let's have a look at stablecoin printers. Checking Tether in the last 24 hours. Oh no, that's true USD. So, no Tether printing. Would you believe it? Right, 36 minutes. I know I'm trying to keep these shows short. Shout out to everybody in the chat box. Yeah, Arcade Blob, Palski in there as well. Keep your dad, great stuff. Right, hope you enjoy the show. We'll leave it there. 36 minutes, a minute shorter than yesterday's show. I will try and shorten this down as much as possible, just to make it more streamlined, so the time looks more attractive to these less intellectually challenged people. So that'll do. Hope you enjoyed the show. We're all up to date with the figures. Catch you guys later. Get paid for posting your pics on Relica. Download the app now at www.getrelica.com. Get your tweet etched on Twitch, forever on the Bitcoin blockchain. Do it today at www.jointwitch.com. Buy BSV.live, the best place to buy Bitcoin SV online. Support independent content creators on micropayment platforms such as Streamanity, Twitch and Relica. We should profit from our data, not the large corporations who track, monitor and sell it. If you enjoy the Bitcoin content that I produce, please support me by heading over to www.sirtoshi.tv, where you can keep up to date with all the latest news, gossip and content as it's created. Thanks very much. To get started in Bitcoin, go to freebsv.com, where you can claim your free Bitcoin. Then head over to Twitter and follow @IamSatoshi, where you can take part in his very generous and world famous free giveaways. The future of advertising meets the power of Bitcoin at Tonic Pow. Get paid for posting advertising campaigns to your social media profiles. Go to www.tonicpowads.com.